Welcome to the first episode of the podcast. I am in a drizzly, mizzly Pembrokeshire to meet stand-up comedian and old friend Rhod Gilbert. Rhod is an avid hill walker, as well as being a very funny man, and he's going to be my guide up to the top of Mynydd Carningli, which is the Mountain of the Angels. So this isn't rain, it's holy water. Very quickly we've gone from town to past.
This
to,
is probably
to forest.
This is probably the fastest a town runs out in the UK.
So I hope you like the town. That's the end of it.
This is town, now already haunted forest.
So you enjoy an adventure, don't you? You enjoy a hill walk?
I don't know about an adventure, but I do a bit of walking. Not as much as you, I don't think. I get the impression. I didn't know that you do a lot of walking, but then I told my mates, my old school friends, who live down this way. We went for a walk along the coast a couple of days ago, and I told them I was going walking with you, and they were like, "Oh Christ, he's mad fit, that bloke. He climbs mountains all over the world. He's mad fit and all that." I was like, "Oh shit."
I was not aware that
that's the
reputation
Yeah.
had gotten as far.
Yeah,
as
and they're not like big comedy buffs, or, you know. Do you know what I mean? They're not at all in. You know, he's a normal, simple peasant country folk.
I'm sure they love being referred to in that manner. Are these the friends that you just hang on to show how grounded you are as a human being?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You pay them a stipend for that?
No, I don't need to. My presence is enough for payment. Is this a trek, hike, walk?
I would call this a walk.
Yeah. Stroll.
But for the purposes of the podcast, it's an adventure.
Yeah. Oh, it's brutal.
So you've done some quite proper adventuring sort of hill walking, have you not? You've done proper, Kilimanjaro.
I've done bigger than this, definitely.
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro, yeah.
And is this as part of a fundraising thing for the local hospital, right?
It's a cancer hospital in Cardiff called Byrne. I'm a patron of it, and they got hold of me by the knackers about 7 years ago and persuaded me to climb Kilimanjaro, and since then I'm in there now. I can see myself sort of doing it for life, sort of thing. You know, I've done Kilimanjaro then, and then we've done Patagonia since, Machu Picchu in Peru, Nepal.
You've been to Nepal before, hadn't you? You did the World's Most Dangerous Roads with Greg.
I did the World's Most Dangerous Roads with Greg, where we absolutely shat our pants.
But yeah, because I remember your one, a camera fell off the top of the car.
Yeah.
And they used that footage then all the time to make it look like the car had rolled.
Yeah, it came off in Kathmandu and sort of bounced across a massive junction and sort of landed right by a sort of policewoman's legs, in the middle. But the whole thing was terrifying. We were like running across.
And in the end,
we ran across a landslide.
You had to ditch your thing and just get in like a school bus.
We hit a landslide, came to a landslide where we stopped, and there were rocks the size of houses coming down 10 metres in front of us. These poor little buggers sat in their little huts and houses watching these rocks coming past them, nothing they could do. And for about an hour and a half, me and Greg argued. It was stressful as shit. Argued about whether we should run across it. I don't know why, but I was pushing us to run across it. And Greg was going, "This is insane."
I seem to remember you doing. You ran across it on your own, didn't you?
No, Greg came with me in the end.
Oh, he did.
But it was an hour and a half of bitter arguing that they edited down to 20 seconds, you know. But I think it came across that it was still nonetheless. Yeah, we got on a school bus then the other side. I told you this is a killer, this mountain. Jesus.
Yeah, it's not nothing. It's a fairly steep grade.
This is Kilimanjaro all over again. There's loads of little hills and mountains here. Have you done these before? No.
No. I mean, I've done some stuff in the Brecon Beacons.
Yeah.
But no, Pembrokeshire. And I have to admit, I'm want to overlook smaller hills in favour of the big beasts.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd rather be in Snowdonia or the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. None taken.
No, you know, it's not like you built these hills yourself. It's not like you were out here.
I kind of did. I feel like I did really.
Couldn't you have built them a little higher?
I feel like I'm here representing Pembrokeshire, you know. This is your first one of these podcasts, right?
Yeah. Thank you for gracing us.
And
thanks for kicking us off in
you've
style.
got to start gentle, haven't you? Start with a small one.
Yeah.
If you start off with Ben Nevis, who's going to listen to episode 2? So what is this podcast all about?
Well, this episode is all about you, Rod.
Yeah, right, okay.
About you and this hill, but mainly you.
They're not all going to be about me, though, are they? Mynydd Carningli. Say it with me.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is, behind that bush.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you won't see if it's behind a bush.
Yeah. See, that's how you know it's a hill, not a mountain.
Yeah.
It's because you can't see it when it's behind a bush.
When you say bush, it's a small forest, I would call it.
Used to be a volcano, you know.
This?
Yeah.
I know. All of these beaches around here, well not all of them, but that one down there, Trev drive-through put, is volcanic, black volcanic sand. It hasn't gone off for a few hundred million, yo.
Oh, that's spiky.
Yeah, this is very, what is this, gorse? Look at that, that's Dinas Head out there. Beautiful bit of coastline up there. Some lovely cliff path walk in there. That's Dinas Head. That's a nice little walk around the top of that. See, normally you get a little view of Ireland if you were on a good day from up here.
Mm.
You can see sort of parts of up to mid and North Wales as well. You can see Snowdon sometimes. Just to rub it in that you should have been there.
We just keep the path's right there. See, we just keep wandering off it.
The thing is, that's not a path. That is a stream. So it's a sort of path for water more than the people in
This is
short.
a path.
This isn't a path.
Look at it.
It's a fucking
Well,
stream.
there's not enough water in it to constitute a stream.
Not yet. You wait.
Oh, mate, it's gone horrible again.
Yeah, this is a great path though. It's one of the great.
we just keep losing it. Look at it. It's right there.
Huh?
How do we keep losing the path?
It's not a path. It's just where the water comes through. The path is on the other side of the mountain where I was going to take you.
It's pretty hard to get lost in this kind of landscape. The hill is there,
Yeah.
and that you just sort of walk towards it.
Yeah. Ah, I'm surprised you haven't done Killy or something then. Have you done like Mont Blanc and stuff?
I have done Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
I've done Mont Blanc twice. I didn't get to the top the second time.
What, because
So
of
to
altitude?
say I've done it twice is probably a bit talking myself up.
Why didn't you get to the top?
I got absolutely spanked by the altitude.
Right.
There's the climb up to the hut, the Goutier hut. I don't know, maybe I didn't eat enough or what, but got to the Goutier hut and had me dinner and threw it up again.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep a wink, so just headed out and just went, this is just dangerous. I'm not well enough to do
No,
this.
that is partly what makes mountain climbing tough, isn't it? Is that if your body doesn't, if you're not well, you're in real trouble.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try Killy then, you'll never do it. It's only for the seasoned altitude seeker. It's funny how the water's using the same path, isn't it?
This is always a problem.
Yeah. It is when you confuse paths and
Where
streams.
distinguish between
I
river and path sometimes.
did say it was a stream. Oh, that or the water's just finding the path convenient.
Yeah. Although, without a doubt, this is a path now, right? Are you happy that this is a path that we're on here?
This bit here is a bit of path, yeah. I don't know where it goes, but it is a bit of path, yeah. Yeah.
See, before that mountain was in cloud for a bit,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh no, we're not going to get a view from the top.
Yeah.
But now it's cleared again, gives you hope, makes the whole thing far more exciting.
This is what it's like as well. Pembrokeshire, this is Pembrokeshire, you know what I mean? If it's a lovely day, it's lovely, it's nice, but it's not really what it's like.
I feel like we'd be misrepresenting it if we'd come up last week and it was
Yeah.
really hot.
Yeah, they put it in the brochures, but it's not, you know, it's not what it is. It's going to be quite labour intensive, this podcast, Ed. You've got to find somebody who's going to go up a mountain every
I mean,
time.
this is very true. Because, considering how many people are, doing podcasts where it's all just
Yeah.
people sitting at home doing Zoom calls.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I mean, that's,
Yeah,
that's just too easy, isn't it?
yeah. It's a certain common sense to it, though.
Is there a name for that little rock that's just off the promontory?
Where now?
See, there's a head there.
That's Dinas Head.
And then in the sea, off the head, is a rock.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a name for that?
I don't know. I just call it the rock.
No idea. Do you even call it that?
No.
I feel like you've noticed it for the first time since I've...
No.
When I just
If I was
pointed it out
walking
there.
around, you can walk around that cliff path from Dinas Head. Is a lovely little walk from Pwll Gwaelod through Cwmwr Eglwys up across the top of Dinas Head there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if I was walking past and there was like something happening down there, I would say, look at that bird down on the rock. So I do call it the rock. Call that bird the bird as well if he's
Rhod, when did it start for you? I seem to think you've been around since the sort of early noughties.
Yeah, 2002, my first ever gig.
Yeah. Where was that?
I did one of those comedy courses, you know, the Amused Moose. Myself, Greg Davis on that course.
Okay, so you've known him since then.
That was where we met, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was in market research. He was either in teaching at the time or just given up. He might have just given up. But he'd always wanted to do comedy or something in comedy or write comedy scripts or stuff. I had never in my life for 1 second entertained the idea of being a comedian in my life.
How did you end up doing a comedy course then?
I had a girlfriend at the time who just used to say, you're funny, you should do something, whether it's stand-up or write a sitcom or something with comedy. And I was just like, what are you talking about? I'm like people like me, I didn't know any comedians. I'd never been to a comedy club even. I'm in my late 20s at this point, early 30s. I'd never been to a comedy club, not even been to a comedy night anywhere. No interest or ever any ambition or even thought of doing anything like this, ever.
Right.
And in the end, after 8 years of her going, come on, I think you should do it, and she started taking me to comedy clubs and took me to see Eddie Izzard, which was the first gig I ever saw. I was 28 years old, I think, the first gig I ever saw. And she just went, go on, you can do this, you can do it. And I was like, I've got no interest, what are you talking about? And she was like pushing me in. I was like, fuck off.
Really browbeat you into this?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you owe her anything now? Do you feel like you should send her, a check every month?
I've always said, if she came to me and said, I want half of everything you've earned through comedy, I'd give it to her.
I really hope she's not watching now, because that's quite a lot. I thought maybe give her something. I didn't think give her half of everything.
No, I won't, because without her, there's not one in a billion. Literally no chance. Literally no chance. I had never even crossed my mind, and it never would have. She persuaded me, encouraged me, just all the time. Go on, get in there. Just go and have a look. Just go and talk to the comedian. I was like, fuck, get off! I want to talk to the fucking comedian. What are you talking about? I'd always enjoyed making people laugh, like trying to be. I'd always, since I was a young kid, sort of enjoyed laughing and having a laugh and making people. But I'd never once ever written anything or wouldn't know where to start. I would not have done it if it wasn't for her. I owe her everything, but that's why I'm saying half, because otherwise she would have it all.
So where did you used to do open spots then? What would have been your stomping ground?
So open spots would have been, well, around Soho and stuff, really. A lot of London gigs. So,
Crown and Two Chairmen?
Crown and Two Chairmen was the first comedy night that this girl took me to.
Right.
And I started going there, we started going there regular, and then they said, do you want to be a judge in the competition coming up with Rob Deering, Alex Horn? They were all in this competition, and I was sort of judging, they just give them to the punters on their tables.
Right.
You mark the acts, don't you? And then the best ones with the highest marks go through to the next round. But at this point, I'm just in the audience, me and this girlfriend. And that was the first gig. So when I started doing comedy, 2 or 3 years later, I was doing that circuit. So all the little rooms above pubs in London, and then also, because I was working like 60, 70 hours a week in market research. I was a director of the company, so it was quite a lot of work, And
Did it take a while before you could take the plunge?
Not really. I started in my first gig in 2002. I was a director of this market research company. I'd been in talks for years about taking the company over. There were 2 retiring partners, and then 3 of us directors were going to take over the whole company. And I'd been in talks for years with it. And then weeks before we finally signed the thing, I just went, do you know what, I'm not in for this. I'm going to go and try stand-up. So in 2003, I gave up my job. So I went from
That's like a scene in Pretty Woman or something like that, isn't it? That's like come on, you got to sign this contract.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's how it would play out.
I'm gonna make them laugh.
Yeah, that's what it. And they were like, yeah, fair enough, I get it. And there was no hard feelings. It was all fine, and off I went. So I did go from quite a good job that I was a director of the company, all this blah blah blah, and then I went to sod all as an open spot comedian, picking up 10 a year, 30 quid there, £5 there, petrol money, whatever. Yeah. But it didn't feel like a big deal. It didn't feel, and this isn't because I was confident I'd get anywhere. It just didn't feel like a big deal. I tell you why. It's because I'd been before I started comedy, this girlfriend said to me, get in the club, just try, just go. And then she went, why don't you put your name down? Because they were looking for people in the Amused Moose. They were looking for volunteers, the people who put the chairs out, do the sound. Yeah. I think I probably welcomed you there one night. I would have been in an Amused Moose crew T-shirt. I do remember. You were such a dick. I tried to gloss over it. No, but so I was there in my T-shirt. I was putting the chairs out, doing the sound. I'd have welcomed you, brought you in, said, "Do you want a drink?" I was one of those, the volunteers kind of thing, working at this comedy club. And I did that for about a year before I then did the comedy course. So I really did tiptoe my way into. But by that point, once I started gigging, I started doing quite well in the competitions and stuff. And I could see people around me, not people like you. You were.
I was kind of off.
You were off by then, off into the world of touring, or you were above the people that I saw day in day out in the comedy clubs. But it was the people who were getting paid for headline slots in the small clubs, getting 50 quid, 100 quid, and they were making a living from it. I thought, from where I am now, I can get there. I think I can get a 20-minute set that will pay me enough money to live on. I'd given up a 50 grand salary. And I was going, if I can get to 20 grand, then
that'll do.
I can live on that. I'm happy. My flat was cheap as shit. It was horrible, but I was happy there. And I just thought, if I can get to there, I'll be happy. I had certainly no plans ever beyond that, but I thought I can make enough money doing this job, which I love. So,
but when you were an open spot and you thought, if I could just get there, I would be happy. And then you get there, and then you're not. I'm kind of jealous of people who are happy where they are and just go, no, that's it. I'm a professional comedian. I don't have to have a day job. I don't ever have to worry about money. I just do it. And whereas when you're constantly going, I'm not on that TV show and I'm not doing that, and you might be earning more money, but you because you're still wanting the next thing. Are we really happy?
No.
I mean, I know you're not. You're miserable.
Yeah. Not just miserable like a persona comedy, but actually deeply unhappy, fundamentally.
Do you think that's what drives your comedy to a certain extent? Your inner misery.
Have you spotted it, have you? I thought I was hiding it. It's not just a stage there. I am a miserable, glass half empty. I get it from my parents. Absolutely 100% get it from my parents. Just glass half empty, pessimist, miserable. Yeah. Just a couple of nights ago, I started talking about World War III again, and my wife just went, "Can we not do this before bed?" It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, "I don't mind, you can talk about World War III up to 11 o'clock. After that, we're relaxing."
So what would you think of as a sort of big break? Did you get discovered at the Edinburgh Fringe? Yeah. So you were in the cellar?
Yeah.
With the 1984 show?
Yes, that was a breakthrough year, definitely.
Did you get the newcomer nod?
I got nominated.
Yeah.
I did. Tim Minchin
won the award.
Won the award. Yeah.
But from there, the trajectory was quite steep, quite quickly after that.
I think it was sort of constant. Do you know what I mean? I think it was fairly constant. So like I went to Edinburgh, I sold out every ticket every year and put on extra shows every year.
I remember those days.
Yeah. So it felt like it was like that. But then I didn't know where I was going. And then in 2008, so 3 years later, I did a show called The Award-Winning Mince Pie. And that was the first time where I went, okay, there's something different this year. And the reviews were the reviews were really good, and there was a buzz, and people were saying to me, everyone's talking about your show. And I said, really? Yeah. Oh, really? Are they? Okay, I better pull my foot.
What year would that have been now?
2008.
Right, yeah.
And off the back of that, never mind, the Buzzcocks came along and they said, would you come on the show? And I think the Royal Variety came along and they said, do you want to do that? So TV started really...
What did you do on the Royal Variety then? Did you do the torch?
I definitely didn't do I definitely didn't. I did the torch. The main thing I did on the Royal Variety in 2008, which was different, I think, was that I sort of had a pop of Prince Charles, tongue in cheek. So he was up there, and just before the show, they came into the dressing room. There was me, Tarby,
Who was there, seriously?
It's so weird when I say it like, there was Tarby, me, Tarbuck, Jimmy Tarbuck, McIntyre, Peter Kay who was in there. There were people coming and going, there was, I can't remember who else was knocking around, Take That and knocking around, all this weird shit, You're suddenly in this weird world. And they came in and they said something like, I'm sure I haven't made this up. They came in and they said, for the first time, we're going to have cameras like on the royal box, or they're going to be something like that.
Right.
And I said, fuck, if I if I'm canny this afternoon, I got a few hours, I can sort of come up with a little thing here and talk to them. They won't be expecting it, and it'll be a bit. And I can.
And you're kind of not supposed to.
You're not supposed.
Right?
No, I can remember. I can remember McIntyre going, "You." I said to McIntyre, "Look, I've got this thing. I'm going to say to him that he's bought a house, Llwynarwernod, which is not far from where I'm from." I said, "I've got this idea to sort of go, hey, is that you with the big house on the end with a sky dish and the Astra's always parked on the bloody pavement because I can't get my buggy past on it." And he was like, "Don't. Do not do this." And then he was like, "And definitely don't do it at the start of your set. If that goes wrong, these things are notoriously stuffy. You know, they are not an easy audience, the Royal Variety, is it?" And then I can remember, I think it was Jimmy Carr went, "Yeah, go for it. Go for it." I think it was that. I think that's the way it went. And I went out.
Do you think
there.
he was doing that hoping that you'd go wrong?
I don't know.
I'm going on after you, so if you eat it, that'd really work out well for me.
He's actually so supportive, Jimmy, that no, I think he probably meant to. But he probably was going to go out there. Quick, everybody, get in the wings. We've got to see this. This brick's going to take its chance on his fucking big crook round your neck any second. It went so well. It went so well. He was laughing, Camilla was laughing,
right.
Robert, they were all rolling around. He was going like that and stuff. And I was going, "Your boys, that bus shelter," I'm not saying it was definitely them, but somebody's vandalised that bloody bus shelter again. I'm not naming names, but the two of them. And he was loving it.
And then the BBC basically seemed to have been created to keep you in work after that. That was saying
a good few years.
Threw everything at you. Because I think it was around the time that my career was really on the slide. So I was really paying attention to who was doing well.
Yeah, but what you learned, don't you, after a long time, is apart from one or two individuals that just go like that, all the rest of us are going like this, aren't we? We all are, you know.
But
wherever you're doing it, that's what you're doing.
Do you look at that period, you know, I mean, Work Experience was a big show that people really responded well to the Work Experience
show. That's still going, that's sort of bobbling away. I see that one as my kind of bread and butter. I'm on series 9 of it, you know, and it sort of just bubbles away. You know, it never gets any, it's a sort of cult hit, I think you described it.
Is there anything that you did that you kind of go, you look back on and go, that's a shame. The shame the way that went, or that could have been.
Oh, I think Ask Rhod Gilbert was a shame. Yeah, I think Ask Rhod Gilbert. I think it suffered for being a big BBC One production show, and when you do things on BBC One, it's obviously exciting when you get a show with your name on it and you're.
Is there too many other people involved or something?
It's just, you know, what could be more exciting than sort of BBC One, you know, it's not a Saturday night or anything, it's a Wednesday night, but it's your show, it's your name on it.
Yeah.
And you sort of naively think that you're going to shape it all, and you realise that the level of just the number of people with a vested interest in a show like that, from the channel, the producer and everything else, you realise that you're one cog of many, and you're sort of a very small cog. Like I'm doing a podcast at the moment, but we follow conversations, right? So we're chatting about something, and somebody will say, mention something, and we'll try and get to the end of that conversation. So your name might come up in conversation in our podcast, and we'll go, let's give him a ring.
Right, yeah.
And we'll give you a ring, and then we'll start talking about, I don't know, bloody rocks or whatever it is, and we'll go, let's ring a geologist. So we just follow the conversation wherever it goes, and if questions come up, then you go, let's see if we can answer that kind of. And that's what the TV show was in principle.
Yeah.
But you can't do TV like that. You have to prep it. So things like that sort of TV can cramp your style a bit. And you know, I enjoyed it. It was great working with Greg and Lloyd, and we had great people on it, and it was a great experience. But I sort of look back and think TV wasn't the best place for that kind of show.
Why don't we press on to the summit? And then when we're higher up, well, why don't we talk about some of your happier memories of TV?
I haven't got any.
Your career highlights.
I literally haven't got any.
Well, then maybe not of TV, maybe just of your career in general.
No, I didn't mean to. I mean, I haven't got any. Literally haven't got any. Must be one. I'm going to have another Welsh cake soon. Flag in. My blood sugar's dropping. What snacks have you got, production crew?
Zilch.
Oh.
So, Rhod, as we approach the very summit.
The very summit, you can't
As we
say.
approach the very summit.
Can't say the very summit about a hill like this. Yeah.
And as we look back at this beautiful view, come on, you must have some career highlights as you look back over your long and varied history in the showbiz industry. I mean, doing the Royal Variety must have been something. Must have been a big one. Or getting your own, first time you got your own show with your name in the title of it.
I guess they would be the things that, if you were doing an interview, somebody would say like that. So yeah.
I kind of am. You know.
Yeah, you're saying exactly
Well,
what I
what
would
would you
expect
think?
somebody to say, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is you'd go, oh, that, yeah, you'd pick out what you would think
But
would be
maybe
the big
it's not
moments.
that then. Maybe it's not. Is it maybe somebody that you admired saying that they
I
liked
do seem
your
to
comedy?
be implying that it's not that, don't I?
No, that's absolutely where I'm getting from you, which is fair enough.
Yeah, you are getting that from me for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't have any highlights.
This
I mean,
career has been wasted on you, hasn't it?
I don't
You
mean
realise
that.
there's people out there who would have given their
Yeah.
left leg for
I
something.
don't mean I haven't enjoyed it. I don't mean haven't enjoyed it. Christ, sound like it's over. It's only a small little.
I brought you here to tell you that you've been kicked out of the artistic community. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, looking back, you'd think it would be the obvious things would be, you know, I don't know, a Perrier nomination or those kinds of things when they are a TV show or whatever. But I don't look at it like that. I don't see it as highlights. For me, the best bits of the last 18 years for me are the bits where I come up with an idea and it makes me laugh and I jot it down or record it or something like that and then try it out and it works, or you know it's going to work. That to me is the highlight.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
really.
that absolutely. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, much more than Royal Variety. Yeah, fine. But
They're all career milestones, but that's
milestones,
not
yeah.
a highlight. For
no.
you, a highlight is thinking of a new routine, trying it out for the first time,
Yeah.
and it working.
yeah, thinking of something funny. It doesn't have to be a routine, a line, a little thing. That and that feeling you get when it makes you laugh and you go, that's going to work. That's going to fucking work. Those are the highlights to me. I don't think I would pick any of the.
When that happens, do you actually smile at that point? Or do you,
don't
for
know.
one moment, are you not the cranky, miserable bastard I've come to know?
Maybe. I've never.
I wish I was.
I've never had an idea in front of the mirror. I've never
I
gone.
wish I could just be around once to see you enjoy a moment of your
I'm not
career.
that miserable. I'm not that miserable. But no, I don't think it is the Royal Varieties and the TV show and the you know, you'd think it would be, but I don't think it is. I can't. There's definitely things that have jumped my career forward, which I guess are exciting moments.
I suppose when they're happening as well, you don't think, this is it, I've made it.
No, because you're always thinking about the next thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're always, you know. But no, it's still that moment where you got something funny, you think this is going to work, man. I cannot wait to do this. That's the highlight.
That's the great thing about stand-up, isn't it? It's the immediacy of it. As soon as you get an idea, you can then go, right, I'm going to try that
I'm
tonight.
gonna try that tonight, yeah. I mean, not anymore. The whole industry's collapsed.
There's that miserable bastard.
Coming up with that luggage routine, this is going to work, and it's going to work well. You know, it's going to hit hard. This. Bit.
And how did that start? Like,
well,
the thing of having the prop, I mean.
Well, I flew to Dublin, as per the routine, with Ryanair, as per the routine.
Yeah.
And I got to Dublin, as per the routine, and my luggage didn't turn up, as per the routine.
But not the handle.
Everybody, as per the routine, we were watching this handle going round, and people having a good laugh.
All right, okay.
And then everybody else pissed off, as per the routine.
Right.
And then there was just me with this handle going round, as per the routine. So I picked it up, and I thought, I was going, there's something in this. I went and reported my luggage missing, as per the routine. And that night on stage, I can remember I had a shower before the gig and I wrote a few minutes on this handle in the shower.
Yeah.
And that's a highlight. I couldn't wait to get out there and do it. I thought this is going to work. It's
Right,
going to
so
work.
it all happened as you described it then?
As I described it, except when I got home from the gig that night, having already done this new bit of material that went really well, and I thought, this is exciting, this is fun. My luggage turned up.
Right.
At the hotel. Ryanair brought it to my hotel.
Right.
So that wasn't even my handle. But by that point it was too late. I had the routine and it ended up being 13 minutes long at its longest.
Okay, so when you say it wasn't your handle,
No.
but you did pick
No,
that
my
handle
luggage
up.
turned up intact.
All right.
So I don't know whose it was.
Okay, well then I still get, where did the idea of the handle come from then?
No, the handle was going
There
around the
was
thing.
a handle going around on the conveyor belt, but it
was
wasn't
going
your
round
handle.
the thing. And my luggage didn't turn up, so I picked up this handle. I went and reported my luggage missing. did the routine that night.
I know, but why did you pick up that handle that wasn't
I don't
yours?
know. Maybe I thought it's funny.
Right, okay. Well, it is.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I must have thought that's funny, and I took it. So it is kind of a lot of it true, and then most of it, I guess, all the questions with the woman on the desk with her saying, "Did you pack it yourself?" And me going, "I suppose," you know, her saying, "Have you left it unattended?" And me going, "I suppose I must have." That kind of stuff. All of that was made up, obviously. But by the time my luggage turned up intact that night, I'd already had the routine.
Yeah.
So whoever's handle that was, technically I owe them half the money as well.
Fair play. You have a bunch of really excellent and memorable routines. I'm thinking as well of the torch. There's also the can you fry an egg?
Oh yeah, the Royal Navy.
The Royal Navy ad.
Can you fry an egg?
Can you fry? No, I said no.
What about?
I think it's getting more difficult to fly this egg of yours. Perhaps you should be asking somebody else to answer the first question.
How bad is that? I'm laughing at you doing my routine.
Well, it's a classic. It is an absolute classic.
I've always tried to squeeze every drop of shit I could out of a routine. So they're all of them. You know, that luggage one was 13 minutes at one point.
I love that though. I love that, taking something and wringing it for all it's worth.
Yeah, well, you might as well, once you've got a comic idea like that, I mean, part of it is just me being, not tight, but, you know, kind of like, just now you've got, it's so hard to come up with a funny idea that once you've got one, you might as well wring the shit out of it, you know.
Well, I think as well, when you've got a start and an end, and you know that you got the punchline coming, you can kind of meander quite a bit.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time a joke starts off as a 30-second or a 2-minute bit, just grows organically.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had one-liners that I've done 1 year as a one-liner, and then 3 years later, it's 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
That same essence of a joke.
Yeah, and someone will go, "So you did the same bit 3 years ago?"
Yeah,
Are you kidding? You told me to do one line.
One line, you bastard. I used to reply to people like that. Online, you know, going, "Actually, it's only about 7% of it is the same as that bit, and if you think you'll find that 13 minutes of that show would have..." Fucking hell. I stopped doing that a while ago.
We're at the top. What do you think? Is this the high point or is that the high point?
This one, I think. I think you picked well. I don't think we'll be seeing Ireland today.
No. I'm afraid your only way of glimpsing Ireland is to look into my eyes. Anyway, we're at the top.
This is it.
I mean, there's another rock there that looks like it could be marginally higher than the rock we're standing on.
I think it is actually, now you've said it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we go and stand over there?
No, I just cheat it.
I am genuinely going to go and climb up that before we
You?
go down, just to make absolute 100% sure I stood on the tallest bit.
What a nerd.
I know.
What is wrong with you? Is that medical?
Well, you think I'm a nerd? Wait till I do this. Wait till I break out this.
What is it? What's that?
Yeah, wind speed. It just measures wind speed and altitude and temperature and stuff like that, you know.
Jesus.
13 mile an hour wind, so we're perfectly safe.
Oh wait.
So what's next for you? Look, it's properly clouding in now that we're up here. We
What
can
is
see shag all.
Yeah. What is next for me? Well, like most people at the moment, I'm on
Gardening leave.
on a COVID break, can I?
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of a tour. I was 110 dates into a tour. Luckily, I got 110 dates in. I don't see it like that. I'm absolutely gutted that I had 36 more to go. So
Me too.
I'm gutted that I lost the last 36, not that I got the first. Everyone keeps saying to me, "But you've got 110 in. You're lucky."
Yeah.
You've got it. I'm like, no, I missed 36.
Have you cancelled and refunded those 36, or
I
have
just
you
keep pushing it back,
rescheduled them?
pushing it back, pushing
Yeah.
it back, pushing it back. So at the moment I'm scheduled for March 21. But I can't see that happening. So I don't know. Beyond that, I got no idea. I hope to go back on tour one day. I was just about to record the DVD, thing for the show. I was 2 days. I was March the 21st. I was recording the show.
Yeah.
And we went into lockdown. What?
16th.
19th. Something.
What
So
about? I understand you're doing something for Comedy Central coming up.
I
No?
got a new show. Sort of weirdly, that came out of nowhere, really. I got offered a new show on Comedy Central.
What is the nature of that?
It's about.
Are you allowed to talk about it at this point?
Probably not, but by the time this goes out...
Hey! I don't want to lose
Fucking
you.
hell, that would have been an ending to the podcast. What's next for you? Would you have kept that in, be honest?
If you died?
Yeah.
I think if you died, I might not.
Oh, I thought you said if you died,
if
you
just
would.
really hurt yourself, I would have kept it. Maybe I would have.
I'd have done the opposite.
I
If you
think
died, I'd have gone...
It would have become
Nothing you can-
evidence, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got life insurance.
Fucking hell, that would have... Honestly, you'd have had at least 1,000 more downloads.
It would have become a snuff
In the
video
blurb.
then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you don't like him?
The podcast that killed Rhod Gilbert. It's cleared up again. We're getting a view again. Anyway, what is the nature of this Comedy Central show that you're doing? This is your plug.
I did this, you know. I had, in Nepal, when I did a charity walk last year,
He's not going to answer the question.
I
is he?
got
He's just
caught
not
short. I got caught... This is more important. I got caught short and I had to go into like a cave.
Right.
And I was shit in a cave. Terrible. Terrible mess in there. I felt so bad. And then I came out and I was walking back up this and I fell over backwards right the way down, and I was fine, but I was this close to death. Fell all the way down and just missed knocking my head. What was the question? What's next?
What's the nature of this Comedy Central show you're doing?
Oh,
that you've got coming up. As in,
it's,
what's next? Looking to the future. What's going on?
It's a sort of chat show, but talking about teenagers. So when you were looking back when you were a teenager, you know, embarrassing photos, school reports, bring your old dinner lady out, get your first love into the studio.
Excellent.
You know, yeah. So it's a rich.
What's it going to be called?
I don't know yet.
I don't even know what it's going to be called.
Dunno.
It's very hard to plug something when we don't know the name of the product.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
We'll look out for it.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, Ed.
No, not at all. Let's get down.
Let's get down. You admit it's a mountain now, though, right?
This is a hill, man. This is a hill.
God, I can't wait for that sausage roll.
What are we doing for tea tonight?
Whatever you want. Yeah, what do you fancy?
Fancy a big juicy steak. Are we happy with this path, or do you want to continue on this one that seems to sort of go out and around and down?
I think it takes you around the houses a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Shall we go the more direct one? Yeah, no, great. No, I haven't imagined it. The path has just disappeared again, hasn't it?
Fucking again.
I mean, it's not...
Right, hang on.
We were absolutely on a path, right?
Trace our steps.
And now we're suddenly no longer on a path. I feel like it just peters out sometimes, and the next thing you know, you're in a bog.
Oh, it's a bit like our comedy careers, Ed. Almost everything about this walk has been like our comedy careers, hasn't it?
Oh, yes, I think I'll just let it sit down.
Yeah, I mean, and even more so now. That didn't change anything. I mean, if I could sum up your comedy career, that was it. You just slipped in a massive sheep shit and fell over. That is our comedy careers, Ed. Wondering where the fuck did we go wrong?
Wishing we could go back.
I was on a path, I was doing well, now the path disappeared like my hand's in sheep shit. That is your career.
It wasn't my fault, it was the path disappeared.
Ah, Gore-Tex my arse. Yeah, it's not so pathy now, Ed. Wet bastard. Look at that.
And remember, I did offer you the choice of the long way down, which I guess is looking pretty good now, isn't it?
That path now is looking like a very good option. This is worse than the time I shat my trousers after 7 minutes at the Comedy Store on stage. And
Did you really do that?
I came off stage and I said I've shat myself. I came off stage early, 3 minutes early, and I said to Sean Mio, he was in the green room, I said, I've shat myself, Sean. He said, why'd you come off early? I said, I shat myself out there. He went, we all get nervous, mate. Just put his arm around me. I was like, I mean, I've literally shat my pants. I got food poisoning. It's very hard with this COVID thing about it. I don't know about you.
There's nothing else going on in your life, is there? That's the thing.
No, it's a terrible time to do this podcast. I can't think of anything else. I'm not creative, not funny. Can't do anything.
See how I just left that there? I didn't go, well, what's changed? What's new?
Yeah.
You know, which is...
Yeah, but
obviously-
I knew you were thinking it.
Yeah. I mean, I then did say it really, basically, didn't I?
Yeah,
By pointing out the fact that I didn't say it.
by
I
not
was
saying
it.
anything was worse. Because most people would have gone, oh, of course you are. By not saying that. It was all in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all in there.
We really should have taken this path up.
This is a good path.
Yeah, it's a fine path.
Oh no, it wasn't. So, do you think this is the way we were supposed to have come?
Yeah, absolutely.
It does look very like the other one.
9 times out of 10, I return on a walk by the route where I go, oh, this is where I was supposed to go.